Okay, so here we are on September 23, 2021. And oh, here comes Tammy. She's coming in. Okay. So the reading is, or the title is, Repetition is Not Failure. Good morning, Miss Tammy.
Hi, Tammy.
And so, repetition is not failure. Ask the waves, ask the leaves, ask the winds. There is no expected pace for inner learning. What we need to learn comes when we need it, no matter how old or young, no matter how many times we have to start over, no matter how many times we have to learn the same lesson. We fall down as many times as we need to learn how to fall and get up. We fall in love as many times as we need to learn how to hold and to be held. We misunderstand the many voices of truth as many times as we need to truly hear the choir of diversity that surrounds us. We suffer our pain as often as is necessary for us to learn how to break and how to heal. No one really likes this, of course, but we deal with our dislike in the same way, again and again, until we learn what we need to know about the humility of acceptance. So uh, the little bit that goes on says, um, sit quietly and bring to mind what learning that keeps returning to you.
Mm.
So here we are. It's another year. We're starting another season. It's fall. The autumn equinox just started yesterday. And so maybe the cosmic question for today is, what do we need to learn in this coming year? Or what did we learn from the past year or the past 2 years during this, I have to say, unprecedented times? This is unprecedented time in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So, and and for me, it just seemed very appropriate. Repetition is not failure. So, you know, what are we learning? Maybe that's the question. That's it. What are we learning from this last couple years or the last year, and how can we move forward differently? So,
I'll go.
oh, Miss Tammy,
Good morning.
good
Morning.
morning.
Morning. Hi, Leticia. What I feel just came right to my mind, which is I think we went over this in the summer, and it's still a little kind of my mantra is patience and perseverance,
Mm,
and just stay the course, be patient, and you know, kind of have your eyes wide open and
uh-huh.
don't keep your head down. Just, you know, be aware of what's going on around you, I guess. So that for me is what came to mind, and I'm still doing it now. It's a challenge sometimes, but it's paying off.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. And as you were speaking, Tim, I was thinking the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This last couple years, we need to stay grounded. We have to be aware. And yes, we definitely have to be patient. But at the same time, it's just thought about, how far forward in the future do we look into
Mm.
or try to really remain present? At the moment, I'm just being mindful. I'm getting my baseline tests next week, which I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to. So, maybe just that thought in itself is just 1 week at a time or 1 day at a time. And then we just go from that point on. But yes, I mean, we're still going through a lot of Uh, Trauma, in my opinion. Everybody's going through trauma now on a lot of different levels, world, neighbors, families, situations. And it is definitely maintaining our perseverance and patience.
Mhm. Yeah.
So we have a nice small group, so we have time. Oh,
Oh,
Gumby,
Lois.
be
Oh,
flexible.
The Gumby jar.
I brought the Gumbies out to
Gumby.
remind her to be flexible,
Be flexible.
especially, coming into the time of the autumn equinox when we connect to the metal energy and we get focused and we refine everything and we're in control, it can sometimes get a little too rigid. So to find the rhythm of when to be flexible and when to get focused. So I brought the Gumbies out as a reminder.
That's a
Mhm.
wonderful reminder.
We got to stretch like Gumby. I had that song in my head, move like Jagger. You got to move like Jagger. You got to stretch like Gumby. So Johan, create a new song for me with the Gumbies and the move like Jagger.
Good version.
We'll take it on the road. You'll be my conductor and you'll sing the songs for me.
Oh, that's funny you mentioned song because yesterday I took my singing lesson with Laurel, which is Heather's sister, and the song I'm working on is Tomorrow, Tomorrow.
Oh,
And it's actually quite an interesting song for
can
me.
we hear it?
Oh, I'm not ready to sing that.
Oh,
I'm not ready for that. There's still a lot more for me to work on the tones. It's very interesting. I'm still my body is still trying to memorize all the tones for it, but it's not the same as do re mi with the Sound of Music. It's not the same as that. Anyway, yes, Johan.
well, first thing I wanted to mention is that it's good that you do a recording in case we find the answer to the cosmic question, what's the meaning of life, and don't forget it,
Oh, I like
that's good
that.
that we have a recording. A couple of days we talked about chances, taking chances.
That's correct.
And I wrote down that I will not repeat a mistake. I don't want to repeat a mistake in my life. So repetition is not a failure. The repetition of the things who are good is not a failure.
That's correct.
So, and talking about music, repetition is the only way to learn music and languages and mathematics and so on. So, and to repeat the small steps is for me, the small steps in any kind of sense. I mean, because you can be a great musician, but you have to do your scales every day,
That's correct.
And that came to my mind when you talked about that. And what did I learn from the past time in the pandemic? Well, maybe I learned that it's not so necessary to be with so many people at the same time, that you can be very happy with people who are not present, the people who are, for example, in the bells group. And that you can build a very good community without meeting in person, and also a good family where you can talk about your problems and your thoughts and what's moving you. So that's a very good point from the last time, no?
Thank you for sharing, Yokan. Definitely. Actually, I agree very much what you're saying because in 2017, I had my birthday, which I thought was going to be my last birthday. We had, close to 70 people, but it's not the same as this year's birthday, where I just got to celebrate, just with Lois and Tom, or just with Tammy. I'll tell you, it was so much more intimate, but it was so wonderful, just to be present with just our special people. And, all of you bells, you're very, very special for me because, talk about being present and just sharing. We have evolved actually over the last year and a half. It's going to be almost, it's over a year and a half. I can't believe it. And yes, I agree. We don't have to be with groups and groups of people. We will, in our choirs or rehearsals, things like that. But it's not the same feeling as being with each one of you. So thank you. And Miss Barbara, I can see
Mm,
your mind is moving.
my mind is, I need to do something about my mind. Um, although I like repetition. Repetition
Mhm.
has worked for me in terms of, oh, hi, Linda. In terms of, oh, memorizing things,
Right.
like being able to say decrees and prayers and stuff like that, just off the top of my head. But in order to do it, I have to do the repetition. There's a lot of things I just can't do spontaneously off the top of my head. So I use repetition to help me. Um, in life, they say that when you repeat things in life, it means that you have not learned your lesson. And I don't know. I don't even know if that applies anymore. I mean, I feel like when things happen, especially in this last year and a half, as things happen and I'm able to see it, I see it as not a lesson that I've learned, but I see it as an enlightening experience that informs my life in a way that empowers me. So I don't see it as a lesson, and I don't know if that makes sense. Um, Maybe it's semantics. It's just not a lesson for me anymore. It's just enlightenment, and I really like that very, very much. And it's been a tough year and a half for me because I came here and everything was new. And so it's like I'm required to give birth to a new self because everything is new, because of the trauma, learning to live in a different way that I haven't lived before, all of us because of the pandemic. For me, it's because of a totally different environment and being able to interact with people online has been wonderful. But again, it's like my circle and the bells, it's the best that I can do because I have a hard time with this two-dimensional reality. I'm having a hard time. I still have a hard time with it. Um, I'm a touchy-feely person, and Linda could tell you when I see people, I like to hug. I love to hug. That's who I am. That's what I do. And I haven't been able to do that much this year and a half. It's just from 1 to 10, it's like a zero, -0. So that has had a devastating effect on me. But I've learned that I am resilient and I have been able to live with it. I'll use that term. I've been able to live with it. So when there is an opportunity and I can hug, I just hug a lot, get it all in as much as I can. But also being here again, it nourishes my soul. Being here just nourishes my soul. And so even though physically I'm not hugging, energetically, I am. I receive the love, I receive the hugs, the energetic hugs. Um, and so I really agree and resonate with Tammy and Lois. Perseverance, flexibility is an important part of being able to be flexible, patience, and resilience. Resilience. Resilience for me has been really big this year and a half, really, really big. But again, since December, I've gotten so much support here in the Bells. It's just been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So the meaning of life, every day we learn about that, every day. There's no one answer. As many human beings as there are on this beautiful earth, there are that many answers to that question.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
I just wanted to say, Barbara, I love what you said about, having a new relationship to when things repeat. Is it supposed to be your lesson? And I've let go of that also. What do you mean I didn't learn it? No, maybe I want to do it again. Maybe it's time to have a new experience with this, or maybe it's time to see it differently or be enlightened. So I love that you said that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So welcome.
Thank you. Yes, and talk about, repetition, just being on the bells every single day. That's a repetitive, moments of coming
Yeah.
together, but we're always
Yeah.
learning something new.
Yeah.
I always remember, Professor Lin Yun teaching feng shui. He's teaching the same thing over and over and over again. The Bagua and the
Yeah.
five elements, and I
Yeah.
have to admit, in the very beginning, I said, "Oh, it seems kind of boring," but then before you know it, you realize you're learning another layer about these teachings. And
Mm.
there's another layer of our relationship. So, talk about nourishing ourselves. Yes, I would prefer to hug each and every one of you
Mm.
physically, but we are now learning a new normal, and we have
Yeah.
to hug each other virtually. I mean, just, people visiting me on the top of the rooftop. I can't hug my brother. I can't hug, you know,
Right.
each one of you as you come visit. It's not the same as before, and so it's adaptability and resilience.
Mm-hmm.
So, Linda, the question is about, um, repetitive repetition is not a failure. And what have you learned, or what are you learning to do differently? I mean, here we are, another year, now we're past the autumnal equinox. So anyway, so that's the cosmic question for the moment. We have a beautiful small group, so this is great. So, and how about you, Miss Leticia? Oh, do you want to say something? Oh, go ahead, Leticia.
Go ahead. Oh, you want to say something, Linda? You can say it.
Yes, I have to go soon because I have my dentist appointment outside. Interesting question. That's a good question. I know it's like this is repetitive from last year, but we kind of know what to do now, as opposed to we didn't know anything about what we're doing last year. We had no clue. So I wearing the mask when I had to go to Chicago last week. So okay, we have to wear the mask, but it's something we're used to already. So it's not like something we don't have to do to protect ourselves. And we had fun regardless. And that was the most important thing for me. So, and I know just like Barbara and Lois said, sometimes that same repetitive, something keeps happening because you haven't learned the lesson. I agree with that. I sometimes I kind of question myself, like, why is this happening again? Why is this happening again? But now it's a good way to look at it and turn it around and say, okay, no, maybe I do want to learn things again or something to that effect. So thank you. I miss everybody. It's good seeing everyone.
Nice to see you, Linda.
Good to see you too. Sorry, there's construction going on around me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Miss Leticia, I'm muting myself because there's construction above me. So.
Mm.
Okay. Well, I was going to say what Reverend Barbara started saying, and also Linda touched on that point. And there's a great quote by Pema Chodron, I think her name is.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Nothing ever goes away until it teaches you what you need to learn." So this I find really, really interesting. And at the same time, and on another level, I took an introductory course to traditional Chinese medicine, and it's fascinating. And the little I know, it's extraordinary because you have, there are 3 ways to heal, and you heal from the top to the bottom. So for example, if you're vomiting, but then you have, diarrhea, well, you're on the path to healing. And then from inside, let's say you feel sick or nauseous, to the outside. So you vomit, then you're healing because it's not inside your body anymore, it's outside your body. And the third is from the most recent symptoms to the oldest symptoms. So this has brought for me a new life, or a new light to repeating things. So when things come back, sometimes we have a tendency to think, oh, that again, I haven't, why am I living this again? But in another sense, it's fantastic, because it's like, okay, this used to bother me so many years ago, or this is old, and now it's coming back to the surface, so we can let it go, and then ta-dam, we have healed that part of ourselves. So I think that in that sense, repetition can be very, very good, because then it's not only the movement of repeating, but it's also a movement of releasing. So I love that idea. And as Barbara, I'm also touchy feeling. I'm always the first to hug, the first to kiss, and now it's sort of counter natural for me, but I'm learning to just say hi. But my mother, I will still hug, and my daughter, of course, and my husband. So those 3 are the most important, and for now. And I hug my sister, so the rest is a bonus. But for now, it's like this, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I have to say, it is kind of
Wonderful.
odd to not hug somebody in
Yeah.
the same way anymore. It feels very, very odd. And, and we see some friends, we're like, oh, there's Lois, oh, there's Tammy, we want, but it's just like, oh, no, we can't. And it's just like, it's a really odd feeling, I have to say.
Yeah, it is.
And so it's, on one level, it's very unnatural, this human quality about us. So, but I think we just need to adjust, and we will continue moving forward. And maybe, well, I suppose in my mind, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and we just have to acknowledge there is those glimmers of light. And ultimately, this time will pass. I don't know when it will be, but it will. And then there'll be a whole new way of life, so to say. And and we will
Yeah.
evolve. We will evolve.
Yeah. That's really beautiful. And you always have this wonderful sharing to inspire us to stay grounded in light and love, and knowing that things will get better. And as you're talking about the light at the end of the tunnel, if we stay grounded in light and love, it is our light that we're going to see and meet at the end of the tunnel. So we have to do that. Be that now. Be that now. Don't be crazy and wild and wait till this light appears at the end of the tunnel. We have to be the light. We have to be it. Thank you for that,
You're welcome.
RD. Thank you.
And Miss
Everyone,
Tammy,
thank you.
you have to unmute me.
And I want to say too, from the past, I mean, I love what you said, Reverend Barbara and Leticia, and about enlightenment and learning, because repetitive stuff, and Linda too, it might not bother us so much the next time it comes around, because we've learned, we've been enlightened by it. But I also think too, like I've always tried to look for a silver lining in these things. And, there's silver linings everywhere if you want to look for it. I mean, the bells, look what came out of this pandemic is this amazing group. And, there's so many other things in my life that have happened over the year and a half that some of them not great at all, but there's been some silver linings that have come out of that.
Yeah.
So I'm so grateful. And this group is so positive, and yes, RD, you just keep us going,
Yeah.
you always have. Even before the bells, it's you've just amazed me. So we're so blessed, that you started this and to have you. So, love it.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. So, Lois.
So I have to go. So I
Okay.
wanted to say thank you, everyone. See you
Okay.
tomorrow. Have a beautiful day.
Okay,
Have a beautiful
bye-bye.
day, Lois.
I also have to go too. Good seeing
Okay.
everyone. Love you
All
all.
right.
Mwah.
Beautiful day. Have a good appointment.
Have a good day at the
Thank
dentist.
you. You too. Thank you.
Okay. So,
And then there were 5.
it's the
then
balance
there were
of the
5.
5 elements. How about that?
Okay.
How about that? So, anyway, um, um, so
Yeah.
actually, this thought crossed my mind. So talk about
Okay.
evolving. So, Yoken, how would you like to? We'll chant alternately at the end. How about that? It's doing something different. How about that? That might be something interesting
He
to
says
do.
yes.
So I mean, and I don't know. That just kind of came to me. Unless each one of you want to chant.
Oh, that's nice. I'd have to get my bowl.
Oh.
I don't chant without my bowl.
What do you
Okay.
Yes? Oh, okay. So maybe we'll do, Yoken, so maybe I'll just ring the bells and this is at the very end. And then I'll chant. And then Yoken can chant. And then Barbara can do it after the Yoken. How about that?
If you want me to, sure.
Let's do that. Let's do a
Okay.
little something different. We'll have a little quieter
Okay.
for ourselves.
Well, I have no bells here, so please ring the bells for me.
Oh yes. I'll ring the bells. Yoken. Yes, definitely. So that'll be at the end. That'll be the end. So we'll do a nice quiet meditation. And of course I'll mute myself because of the construction upstairs. But I'll just guide you in the beginning, our usual, and then we'll close with a wonderful choir. How
Chanting.
about that? That'll be sweet. So I'm going to mute everybody then.
Okay.
I'm going to mute everybody and just relax. Oh, so nice to be with all of you today. And put your feet flat on the floor. Sit comfortably in our chairs and breathe. Gently breathing in and breathing out. And just imagine that we're outdoors, just sitting by the edge of the water, whether it's by the lake or a gentle stream or at the ocean. And just breathing in and breathing out. Feel the cool breezes. It's the end of summer, the equinox, the yin and the yang. And let's begin our time together with the ringing of the bells. And just relax. Relax our entire being. Relax our heads and our necks. Relax our shoulders. Really relax our shoulders and release. Calm our soul. Relax our arms our elbows, relax our hands, our wrists, and even our fingers. And maybe you can imagine our hands be like the sunflowers, just open, open to the sun, the moon, the stars, and the rain. Gently bring our attention to our hearts. Our hearts are sitting so peacefully in a lotus flower surrounded by purple healing chi petals, just floating, floating on cool, calm waters, the waters of life. And just imagine that the roots of the lotus flower gently, gently connecting to our dantian. And just breathe a little bit more deeply into the golden stove, feeling more centered and aligned with the universe. Relax our hips, our thighs, our knees, and our legs. Just sitting so grounded in our chairs, so comfortable. Bring our attention to our feet, our ankles, our heels, our soles, and our toes, just firmly planted on Mother Earth beneath us. And just welcome, welcome this positive, healing, healthy chi energy. Gently, gently connecting along the central channel of our bodies, filling our entire being with rainbow colored chi balls of smile and of peace and of tranquility, going through our legs like the roots of the bamboo, through the base of our feet, to the bubbling spring point, and the roots going deep, 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 deep down, connecting into the earth, heaven, humanity, and earth. And let's just take this time and enjoy this contemplative time together. And gently continue to breathe in and out. And just imagine that the five of us are just sitting in a beautiful gazebo, sitting in a circle with the yin yang in the center, the light and the dark, the balance of life. And just continue breathing gently in and out. And as we're gathered together in our gazebo, just sitting on the side of the mountain, overlooking the meandering river below, you can see the mountains, the turtle or the tortoise mountains giving us support, the dragon and tiger hills on each side. And we're gathered together here in the Ming Tong, or the Bright Hall, just welcoming, listening to the whispers from Mother Nature, sharing her wisdom and guidance, patience, fortitude, resilience, and strength. Hmm. The beautiful blue skies, the clouds rolling by, the geese just flying by in their flocks, and the gentle breezes. and the leaves dancing in the wind. And let's take our hands and just place it into a prayer position. A prayer position, the mudra of thanks and of gratitude and of support. And then gently release our palms and place it over our hearts and our dantian, and just feel the warmth of the coolness of your palms and the chi, the rainbow colored chi, just circulating through our entire being, filled with good health and love and peace and support. And let's close our time together with the ringing of the bell. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Go ahead.
Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Let's do it again. That sounds so beautiful.
Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum.
Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum. The six true words just filled with harmonies and beauty and love and gratitude. And gently, gently, gently release our palms, kind of rub them together. Wake up the chi cells. And then slowly, slowly crush your face and wash your face. And do a little gentle tap. Tap, tap, tap along your face and your eyes and your forehead. And the back of your head. Rub your ears. And do a little tap along your meridians, along your arms. Along our shoulders and our hearts and our organs. Little tap dance on the earth. And do you want to ring your bells, Reverend Barbara? How about that? You have to unmute.
Repeat. Okay.
Thank you so much. Nice way to close our beautiful gathering. I love it very much. Thank you so much for being here. The 5
Thank you.
elements. I love it.
5 elements.
Thank you.